All right, joining me now is former Alaska Governor, Fox News contributor, Governor Sarah Palin. Governor, how are you? Welcome back.
I'm doing great, Sean. Thank you.
Well, appreciate it. All right, what do you make? You took a lot of heat and a lot of fire for death panels, the comment you made. Remember the case of Sarah Murnahan, that 10-year little old girl who wasn't allowed because Kathleen Sebelius wouldn't sign off on the adult lung transplant? Did that sound like a death panel to you?
Well, it wasn't me just saying that there were death panels in Obamacare back in 2010. I mean, anybody who can read could read into that. But it's a faceless, bureaucratic panel that will decide based on a human being's level of productivity, some subjective and political decision being made as to whether they deserve medical care or not. And yes, the little girl is a prime example of a bureaucrat being able to make that decision, which is a scary thing.
You know, and now even Howard Dean is acknowledging this. Hey, and Howard Dean? Well, what did you take of the op-ed that he had out there?
Haven't read his op-ed, haven't wasted my time on it because I think I and others waste too much time listening to liberal pundits a few years ago when they said that was the biggest lie of the year, was that my claim that death panels were a part of Obamacare and the rationing of health care services. But now that's proven to be true. And, well, I guess I can say graciously that I appreciate Howard Dean acknowledging it finally.
Let's talk a little bit. We're going to have Senator Cruz on the program tonight, and he and Mike Lee, Rand Paul, Marco Rubio, and then a number of House Republicans. There's a big battle coming up here because conservatives, while they appreciated the symbolic votes to repeal Obamacare in the House, none of them had any teeth. And Mike Lee is saying fund the rest of the government, but defund Obamacare. They're meeting a lot of resistance. What's your reaction?
That's common sense. Remember, with our separation of powers, he who holds the purse strings is he who is in the legislature. So Congress holds the purse strings. They can unfund anything they want to, and that's how you stop something that is not right. It's not good. It's not economic for we the people. So it's a wise decision for Mr. Lee and others to decide not to budget for something that's going to be so burdensome to the American people.
I think to me it's a no-brainer. Why do you think, and what's your reaction to those that say this is bad politically? I mean, is this the establishment versus the Tea Party once again, Governor?
Well, yeah, doggone it, Sean. You know, those within that machine, that hierarchy in the GOP that's trying to go along to get along with Obama because they want to ingratiate themselves with the liberal media, which is the lapdog for Obama. It's unfortunate that they can't see what the end result of Obamacare is going to be, and that is, again, such a burden on all of our small businesses. It's going to be resulting in that single-payer system that Barack Obama admitted he wanted before he was a candidate even, and that's going to be the end result, and that's absolutely what we do not need. Not only does it strip away our freedoms as Americans, but Obamacare will bankrupt so many businesses, and it will continue to add to the bankruptcy of our nation, already $17 trillion in debt. So if those within that hierarchy in the machine, if they could just acknowledge that Obamacare, the end result is so bad for the people that they would go along with the unfunding, the defunding of a bureaucratic program that just isn't going to work. I think even they admit that it's not going to work.
You know, but all right, so there's a lot of people saying that Republicans, either in the House or in the Senate, that do not go along with defunding Obamacare. Walk it through. Their fear is that politically there's going to be some damage and that there's no way the president will sign on to it, even if they fund the rest of the government. Should that be a consideration? Would that be a line drawn in the sand? You're a prominent Tea Party conservative. Is that a line in the sand for you?
Well, it is, but so many other things are that line in the sand that should be drawn. When it comes to just, following the Constitution and following sound economic principle and not living beyond our means as a government, just the common sense measures to make sure that we're abiding by those three things that I just mentioned, that means that we don't do things like Obamacare. And when we have a tool to undo Obamacare, in this case, Sean, the tool is not funding Obamacare, then it's very important for conservatives, fiscal conservatives and independents to stand up. And if you're going to go down, at least go down swinging. Don't vacillate and capitulate to Obama and the media, thinking that they're going to come around and like you after all for being on their side on this issue. They're not. They go home at the end of the day, and their home is more leftist, statist, big government that will burden us.
All right, Governor, we appreciate it. By the way, the governor was supposed to join us actually on satellite, but it went down. So much for great technology, but it happens once in a while.